I'm not wearing Yeezys with shorts. I just think they look weird unless you've got like ankle socks on or you've got like fat ankles.
You say that to Adam he's wearing Yeezys with shorts.
He just said I had fat ankles, so I guess that's alright.
Oh no.
Alright guys, we got Austin here for the Bread and Butter podcast. I don't know if this is going to be the first or the second one. Kind of depends on the editing. We'll figure it out. But Austin is our shoe guy. Go ahead and tell us about yourself, Austin.
My name's Austin. I am from Central Ohio. First off, thanks for having me. Pleasure to be on the Bread and Butter pod. I've been buying and selling sneakers for a long time. I was really into shoes whenever I was young, but I never got into like the ones that were really valuable, like retros or Yeezys. Obviously, whenever I was into Yeezys, they were Kanye still had his deal with Nike, so they were like unaffordable at the time. But probably since about 2012, I've been flipping sneakers pretty seriously. So bought my first pair of retros at a convention, and then just been doing it ever since.
And a lot of you guys might know Austin. He goes by I wear fake sneakers.
Thanks to Adam.
He's just a big fakes guy, as you'll learn in this.
I like to wear fake sneakers. Nah.
What's everyone wearing, by the way?
Let's get a little heat check.
I'm rocking some tail lights
Some
here.
Mocha ones.
Mochas are fire.
On the feet.
I sold my last pair of those DS at the last sneaker convention for like $500. So.
Did you get them at retail?
No, actually, I didn't really pay up for them. I think I got them in like the $3 range, but
yeah. When's the last time those have released? I feel like I've never seen them released before. I just like them.
The Mochas came out after the Travis ones did, the OG Travis ones. It's probably been, I think it's been over a year now, maybe even 2 years since we've seen the Mochas. But I don't see those restocking anytime soon.
Yeah.
I think that was a one and done unless we get super lucky with a big restock.
Trying to up my ones game. I know Adam and I have been collecting Yeezys for a while.
Yes.
Now I'm trying to move over to the ones.
Yeah, ones are my favorite retro by far. Yeah. Got a lot of ones in the personal rotation.
I feel like they're, at least for me and my style, they're the only ones I can wear and not look like an idiot.
You can wear them with anything.
Yeah.
Like, that's the thing.
Yeah.
Like if I put a pair, I'm not wearing Yeezys with shorts. I just think they look weird unless you've got like ankle socks on or you've got like fat ankles.
You say that to Adam he's wearing Yeezys with shorts.
He just said I had fat ankles, so I guess that's alright.
Oh no.
Alright, so it's just me and Austin now.
Straight up didn't even. I wasn't paying any attention to what you're.
That's brutal.
Alright,
dude.
well, it was a pleasure being on the pod. I'll see you guys later.
See you guys next time.
On a real note, like since I did that, I gotta kind of like I gotta kiss up.
Wait,
a little
before you
bit.
put that away, what do you got on the neck though?
No, we got some rope chains and then a little praying hands.
Did you get
piece,
those
like
from AliExpress or?
Yeah, with the Yeezys. But since I did that, I gotta kiss up a little bit, you know. Didn't mean to.
No way.
Didn't mean to make the pod owner mad on the first.
Did you make
pod,
that,
you know?
or did you make that?
I didn't make it.
He made it.
That's sick.
That's awesome.
So if you guys didn't know, you got to dig a little bit deep for it. But Adam does have merch for his YouTube channel, and if you check it out under a fictitious name and send it to an address that he's not familiar with, he might send you some merch without even knowing that he sold you merch. So
I had no idea.
yeah,
That is
hilarious.
I bought this off of your merch site probably like 2-3 months ago, and I've just been waiting for a time to like wear it.
That's so funny. When you first brought it out.
So this comes straight from the company then.
Yeah.
So like you didn't even have to touch this. He's
it comes straight from them.
he's pretty much drop shipping his merch. He doesn't even have to touch it. So
I don't think anyone's bought it till now. So
so I didn't even have to go undercover to buy it. I could have just like put in my name and you would have never known.
no, that's awesome.
I used like Jake Smith or something really generic, and then I sent it to my P.O. box.
I'm gonna need to order an all ABC.
When I first saw that, I thought you had like a screen printer at home and you just made it like last night. I was like, oh, that's hilarious.
That would have been such a play.
Oh, the fact that you've been waiting for 2 months makes it so much funnier.
Yeah, dude, I was gonna come whenever you were filming something with Tyler, and I was gonna pull it out.
Dude, you should have told me. I would have bought one too.
I was gonna ask you. I was
Yeah,
gonna be like,
you should've.
do you know where Adam keeps these shirts? But obviously you don't have any on hand. Then that's kind of wild.
No, I don't even know if I have that link still in my description.
It's somewhere because I found it.
Well, that's great. I
So
appreciate
if you haven't gotten the Millennial Profit merch,
So
you gotta get
to
it.
pivot back to shoes, what would be your number one shoe to wear with that shirt? And why did the camera turn off?
It's still on.
Yeah, it's
never
flashing.
mind.
We just can't see ourselves.
Anyway,
So there's not a lot of like retros or anything with a lot of green in them, and this green is pretty unique. So I'd probably just, I mean, I'm no style connoisseur, but I'd probably just keep it neutral with a fit like what I have on. Like I'd wear something all black, and then just let the color of the Millennial Prophet logo pop. There's just not a lot of green retros. I was talking about green shoes with a customer at a sneaker convention recently, and we had like 2 green sneakers on our table, and those are like, that's it. We had the pine green ones, the 2.0s, the 1.0s obviously too, and then the pine green 3s that just came out within the last year or so. Just not a lot of green shoes out there on
do
the market.
you think that makes them more valuable when there's like not many Jordans or whatever of a certain color?
Yes and no. Like, if somebody wants anything of that color, they're definitely going to pull the trigger on it. And that's where, like, them being a really big hold play comes into factor. So, like, people aren't looking for green shoes right off the rip. So, like, right after a release, they might kind of brick. But give it, like, a year or so, and then people are like, yo, I need a fresh green pair of shoes. They'll pay up for them.
So how like important is the season when it comes to things like that? Because obviously there's spring colors and fall colors. Do you notice that you move a lot more of those colors during season?
I don't. So like
Really?
that's one thing like strategy wise for selling shoes that I've strayed away from everybody else's opinion. Like you'll hear people talk about, oh, wait till like we've got these Del Sol 13s coming out, and like it's kind of perfect timing for the season because they're yellow and white. Like people are gonna wear those spring and summer or whatever. But I really think that just time in general helps shoes mature. It's all about supply and demand. I don't really pay attention to the seasons and the colorways or the cuts or the color blocking. I just buy shoes. If they're a good quick flip, I'll quick flip them. If they're a good hold, then I'll just wait for the right time to sell them. I really don't think that seasons play as much of a factor as what people say they do.
I feel like watching your videos that you hold a lot of sneakers. How many would you say, like, at any point in time do you have on hand that you're like, you don't have for sale on an app?
Yeah, that's a good question. So I'll kind of like buy and sell in waves. I'm trying to get as many releases that I think are valuable at retail as possible, but I'm also still buying bulk deals and I'm still sniping pairs on resale apps while I'm doing that. So like, I mean, right now I might have like 200 pairs in inventory and only like 50 to 100 might be for sale. I've got clips of stuff. So I've got like probably 10 to 15 pairs of like Royal Toe 1s right now that are not going to see the market probably for another 6 months at least. They're kind of, so they're like, I paid up for them. I paid, I think, I was under $300 a pair. I went in with a buddy of mine. We split a clip, and I don't see ones ever being a bad buy. They're always going to go up. Obviously, they're going to plateau at some point, but the ones market's really weird. So like they could be sitting at $325 right now, and then somehow, some way, in like a month's time, they'll spike to like 4 or 5. It's weird. It's hard to tell when the demand's really going to come into play if they don't restock for a long time, which the Royal Toes haven't, thank God. But I'm just holding those until the right time.
Yeah, so a lot of the stuff, sorry, Adam. So a lot of the stuff I flip have like a catalyst. So I know Adam flips a lot of like seasonal items, like inflatables and stuff like that you're waiting for a specific thing to happen. Do you think with shoes a catalyst could be, excuse me, do you think with shoes a catalyst could be something as simple as like Travis Scott wearing a pair of shoes? And then the value goes up, or?
Most definitely. It's a little bit tougher with things like that because again, like stock levels always come into play. But that reminds me of like when the JTs came out. I think it was during All-Star Weekend. Which, by the way, like me and one of my friends were posted up on our phones the entire Super Bowl performance. When M got on stage with, I think they were customs, but they were the 3s, and they said, "Hi, my name is Slim Shady" on the heel tab. So far, I was waiting for sneakers to do like a crazy quick strike, and it never happened. But like whenever those guys hop on stage with things like that, it hypes them up. So even with M getting on stage, that definitely did something for 3s in general. Like people were looking for 3s that looked just like that. So yeah, it definitely plays a factor. These celebrities have a huge draw to customers when it comes to shoes. But I think even more so is just like paying attention to the sneaker news. Because as soon as I see any rumors of a pair restocking that's been like an OG colorway or whatnot, I'm moving them.
What do you mean by rumors? Like a tweet or?
Yeah, anything. Like any sort of indication at all. If anybody talks about it that is somewhat reputable, I'm ready to move them. Like Shadow 1s, for example. I had pairs from 2013, And as soon as they were rumored to restock in 2018, I moved them all. And now they're at the point where those have matured again. I've got a couple pairs that I've moved for like over $500. They were retail 170. I got all my pairs for retail. And all the OG colorways are going to do that. They're going to keep reproducing them, and it's not really going to crush the demand because it's an OG colorway. Everybody wants that color blocking. And they wait a good enough time in between releases. Normally it's like 4 to 6 years before they re-retro something like that.
And you're talking about restocking. Is there any way to know like a certain time frame that something like that happens? Does it happen like every 2 or 3 years on a certain one, or is it just kind of random?
It really is random. So like some of the OG colorways, you'll see them restock, and you'll look at the time frames, and it's like, well, we haven't seen this colorway in like 8 years. But then there's other ones where they've went ahead and pulled the trigger after like 2 or 3 years. It's really hard to tell whenever it's going to happen, but that's whenever paying attention to sneaker news really comes into play. Because you don't want to miss any opportunity to make money, but also you don't want to lose money. So if I'm holding a huge clip of like Bred ones, and Jordan Brand or somebody comes out and says, hey, we're going to be seeing these in the next year or so, I'm pushing them all.
You brought a couple of pairs of shoes here. Do you want to show those off and talk about them a little bit, maybe?
Yeah,
for sure. Slide these back.
Are these some personals, or are these some that are in your holds?
So obviously it's crazy because I really only buy and sell dead stock pairs. I mean, if you don't like, dead stock pairs means brand new. So a lot of the pairs that I buy for retail, if I'm not putting them in my personal collection, they are going in the inventory and I don't touch them. They stay dead stock and they keep their value that way. But all 3 of these pairs are worn. They are in my personal rotation. And I've got stories about just about every single one of them. These are the shattered backboards. These are the 1.0s. So the first time we ever saw the shattered backboards, this was back whenever the sneaker game was a little bit different. So I actually went to a City Gear that was like 2 hours away from me, and I camped outside for these. Whenever I got there, they actually wouldn't even let me line up. So I was chilling in my car like 2 hours away from home. I was probably like 17, 18 years old. And it was in a pretty sketchy neighborhood, to be honest. But like, you see familiar faces whenever you go to these sneaker releases. So I'd see a bunch of the same dudes, and it's cool because you get to kind of like catch up with all of them. And this is like the best quality Jordan 1 that's released ever.
Let me see.
The the insoles have the shattered backboard on them. Doesn't fade. It's like it's like a nylon material or like a neoprene material. The leather on those, like on the toe box, is tumbled. It's amazing.
I love when my toe box is tumbled.
Yeah, don't you though?
Yeah, I have a question because you said you've worn those.
A lot.
If you ever want to sell those, how would you go about it?
If I wanted to sell these, I'm going to sell them at either a sneaker convention. You could sell them on eBay, or you can sell them on GOAT as used. GOAT app does have the option to sell used sneakers. StockX does not. You can only
How
sell
do you authenticate a used sneaker?
Same process as new. Obviously, you're going to lose the smell factor, which people like to make fun of me for. But I'm going to have a YouTube video coming up of that soon. No one bite off my idea. But once these fakes come in, I ordered a couple fake pairs of Jordan 1s. I'm going to blindfold myself, and I'm going to authenticate some pairs of Jordan 1s just by smell and feel. And honestly, I think I could do it without even touching them, just by smell.
That's awesome, dude. I love that video idea.
Yeah, it's gonna be really cool. And it's true, like seriously, you could put any pair of Jordan 1s in front of me, and like it just these don't have it anymore because they're old and I've worn them. But the glue has a specific
smell Adam's shoes that he wears.
Like it's a Jordan 1 thing. It's weird. It's a Jordan 1
What's
thing.
it smell like?
It's like the glue has a really unique smell on the factory pairs.
Weird.
And
do they do that on purpose? Do you think?
It's not there. I don't know. I really don't. Which is weird because you would think they use some of the same materials in like the Chinese factories and whatnot.
Yeah.
But so yeah, this is a sick pair. Dead stock. These are bringing around 2K right now in my size.
What?
Yeah.
Why are you wearing them?
So
That's
yeah,
what
I mean,
I'm saying.
What are you doing?
I put these straight to the toe, like whenever I got them, like whenever they released.
What a dumb move. No offense.
No, yeah. In retrospect, like yeah, but whenever I was going to conventions, I remember even first-hand conversation with this kid. I had another pair of these dead stock. I got 2 pairs on that release, so I got a size like 9 and a 9.5. The 9.5 I kept dead stock, so I got one to rock, one to sell.
Well, how much did you sell it for?
That's what I'm getting to.
Oh
so,
boy.
Dude comes up to the table, right, and he's asking me how much, and at the time, like the market just wasn't that great, which was insane. And this was before like StockX and GOAT and all that really popped off.
Yeah.
The sneaker game has changed completely. So it's kind of like local prices. Whatever they go for local, that's what they go for. The size didn't matter or anything. So I told this dude like something in the 3 range, I think. And he like scoffed at me. He was like, bro, I can get those 280 all day. And I looked at him and I said, go find me pairs for 280 and I'll buy every single pair. And he just like, obviously he just walked away. He didn't pull the trigger on him or anything. But I ended up selling that size 9.5 in a bulk deal to somebody for like 4 something.
Oh, yikes.
I mean, that's a nice flip, but also you're an idiot.
Yeah.
But
Like 160, I think they were 160 retail. At the
did you
time.
have any like? Did you
Yeah,
have
160.
anything in your head telling them that they would go up that much, or that's before like shoes really started to pop off?
Yeah, so like that was a pretty good bundle back then. Like that was also the time where, like almost exact same time, I sold a pair of dead stock Chicago ones, and after The Last Dance happened, those things went crazy. But I sold a dead stock pair of those for $450, and that's like a $2,500.
How bad does it hurt when like something like that happens?
It's terrible, and like that's part of the reason why I'm so big into holds
Yeah.
now. You know, like I've seen it happen so many times to myself and others. And Jordan 1s are those things where like you can't lose holding a Jordan 1. I think back to some of the brick releases, like Laney 1s. If you hop on GOAT right now, you're not going to touch a pair of Laney 1s for less than like $750.
All right, a hypothetical Jordan 1 drops in 2016 and then drops, and you get a pair in 2016,
Okay.
and then another one drops in 2019, and you still have your 2016 pair.
Mhm.
I know they're like technically a little bit different, but does the 2019 pair dropping, is that going to affect the resale of the other one?
Yeah, 100%.
Like a lot?
As soon as they announce it, the resale value of the pair that's out right now is going to go down.
Okay.
And it's happened a lot. It's happened with not just Jordan 1s, but like a lot of shoes in general. Like think back to when the Zebras, the Yeezy Zebra V2s came out. They released those super, super limited at first. I remember talking to my friend that has a shoe store. I was like, dude, I've got to get the Zebras. Like that's my favorite colorway that I've seen so far. And he was like, I hope you've got a band laying around because it's not going to happen. And I was like, yeah, I mean, it is what it is. So those released, and they were like 12 to 1400 as soon as they released. And people watching this video now are like, "You're crazy. Zebras were never like that," but they were. If you're just getting into the game, they're kind of like they're a lot lower. They're like 300 to 400 now, maybe 5 in some
I've
sizes.
seen them
but
on a lot of people wear them to the gym, which is
Yeah.
wild.
yeah, there's tons of pairs out there now. And that's a perfect example of like they released once, then they announced a restock, and the value just got hit super hard. That's why if I see any rumors about restocks, I move pairs. I don't think we're ever gonna see backboards like this again. I really don't.
And you're wearing them still.
Yeah, and I'm wearing them. I think I could still get over 1,000 for these.
Really?
Yeah. Yeah.
So how do you like in good faith walk outside of your house with those on your feet?
I love these. You have to have like when you are a sneakerhead, like I'm a reseller, but I'm also a sneakerhead. Like I love the shoes. It makes it a little bit easier to wear them. Now, if I had a pair of these dead stock in front of me, I would never dare.
Okay.
And I've been like that with a lot of shoes. Like another pair that I have sitting right here. It's a good transition into those. When Kanye first signed his deal with Adidas, everybody thought his shoes were so ugly, including myself. I thought the 350s were ugly. I thought the 750s were even uglier.
Sorry.
And
As you're wearing 350s.
yeah, and the 350s have grown on me. They're like,
I've heard black 350s look really bad with black pants.
Oh, he's still bitter. I love that.
That's
I'm
right.
so
He's
sorry,
rocking
dude.
my shorts.
Okay,
That's
man.
so funny.
No, so like I can't pull them off with shorts. I just can't do it. Like
So you think
I've
I
got
can?
I've got small ankles.
Are
Yes,
you hitting
look,
on Adam?
You look so good in those.
You're hitting
Yeezys
on
right now.
Adam, dude. It's
Thank
kind of
you.
weird.
And those Europe exclusive taillights, like they're just so sexy.
With my Puma socks on.
Yeah, see, that's
Nice.
another thing. Like, I'm totally afraid that like somebody that knows sneakers will see me wearing my black Nike socks with my
Ew, bro.
Yeezys. Yeah. But I always do that. Like, I don't really care about brand matching and whatnot. I think it's silly. But I remember whenever the 750 first dropped, Yeezy or Kanye signed his deal with Adidas. He wanted a little bit more design input with his brand, and I could pick the gray 750s up all day at sneaker conventions for like $500. Nobody wanted them. They're everywhere. Nobody wanted them, and now they're like a $3,000 to $5,000 shoe. Well, I got a black pair, dead stock, for a pretty good price, and I couldn't get myself to wear them. Like I always wanted to wear them. Like boom, black jeans stacked. I don't know. I love them. They're ugly, but I love
I'm
them.
not even gonna lie, those are
Those
hideous.
are. You don't like them?
I think they're
No.
sick. I do.
Dude, these are wild.
So I got those in a trade actually on Trade Block. Like I said, I sold my dead stock pair because I
What?
couldn't get myself to wear them. I got those in a trade on Trade Block. I traded 2 dead stock pairs of sneakers that I got for retail, so I had like nothing in those. And they gave me those gently used. They're like VNDS, honestly.
Dude.
And 175 cash. So like
Wow.
I feel like I made out really
You said
well. on
Trade
the deal.
Block. I know you
Yeah.
did a video on that. What's like?
Yeah, Trade
what is
Block.
that?
I'm kind of new to Trade Block, to be honest. They're small.
Yeah.
These are size 8, and those fit big. I normally wear a size 9.
Well, they got a pocket. Little pocket if you need a little
Had
extra.
some drugs in there.
Hide
What?
your shank in there if you need it.
Had a little bread and butter here on the side if you need to.
But
Drugs?
Trade Block's definitely kind of new. I wasn't hip to it at first, and then I saw a bunch of posts on like Facebook groups about these trades on Trade Block, and I was like, you know, even if I don't make good trades, at least I'll get on there and see what there is.
Yeah.
Like maybe I can hit a lick. And I started putting shoes in my closet. Kind of felt out the whole process of the app. It's kind of cool. They act as like a middleman, like what Goat or StockX would. You ship your shoes to them, they authenticate them, and send them to the person you're trading with. Another thing that's cool about it is if you add cash to the deal, you don't get hit with fees to get your funds back out.
So why wouldn't you just sell on there instead of trade?
You can't. It's only for trading. Yeah.
So can I trade like a pair of New Balance Air Monarchs for
for sure.
Jordan 1s and throw in $800 cash?
For sure. Yeah.
That's a
It's-
great way to buy
it's
shoes.
That
That's
simple.
actually
yeah.
a really sweet
It-
concept.
That's
It really-
awesome.
It is cool, and like you actually, unlike Goat and StockX, like you can actually talk to the person that you're trying to trade with.
That helps so much.
So I haven't like negotiated outside of the app because I don't want to get banned from it
Dude.
because it is a cool app.
My beef with StockX and Goat is that, unlike eBay, I can't post pictures of my shoes.
Yeah, you can.
I hate
with
that.
You can with used ones
Oh.
on Goat.
Yeah, but on eBay, like you can.
I want to
you
show
can-
the flaws, dude.
You
I
can
want to
get
return.
more for things on eBay by literally just outlisting people. So
Yeah,
that's what I
for
do
sure.
with my own pictures. A bunch of people will use the stock pictures. StockX, it's just like it's there for that
Yeah.
size,
It's
and this is what it
Not
goes
like
for.
individual enough. Not every
Yeah.
shoe looks the same, which kind of sucks.
The only thing that I do like about that on the flip side is that like as many pairs as I have, I hate going through. I'll get people. Somebody's gonna be watching this and they're gonna get butthurt about it. But I'll get people that ask me like what I have for sale in their size, and like I'm more than happy and willing to help out like locals, especially like if it's my friends. I'm like, yeah, dude, I got you. I give them love prices. But whenever they ask me for like pictures of 15 different shoes, I'm not pulling them out of the box.
Yeah,
Like
no.
they're all dead stock. You can hop on Google, type in the colorway, and see if you like them. And that's what kind of helps with Goat and StockX. Like once you hit a certain seller level, like my seller level on Goat right now, I can list multiple sizes. I don't have to take pictures or anything. I can just slap them up and I'm good.
Dude, I've experienced like not just shoes, but when
Mhm.
people ask a million questions about like pictures and can you measure it for me, they
Yeah.
never buy it.
No,
So I
know.
just ignore them now.
I
It's,
get
it's not
one-
worth
it's
it.
not
I get
worth the
one
time.
person a day saying, "Can I get the pit to pit and the shoulder to
I'm just like,
hem
dude,
measure?"
it's a
absurd.
large, bro.
It's a men's
Yeah.
large.
It's-
it fits
Figure
me.
it out, dude.
Yeah. If you're that in
It's a
between sizes,
$19 t-shirt. Relax.
if you're that in between sizes, you probably shouldn't be buying stuff
Yeah.
online in general.
Yeah, that annoys me. But all right, what's the last box? I'm excited.
Oh, also like these dead stock, those 750s dead stock, they go for about like 1,000 to 1,200. So like as these sit, they're probably worth like 7, 8. But I'm gonna wear them. So
Wow.
Ooh,
the last
I
one,
might wear those too.
bold.
They're already pretty worn. a
yeah,
little
they've
bit,
been
right?
worn.
They
So
have
like,
any
The
other
value's not
colors?
going to go down too much if you wear them.
I literally sniped a pre-owned pair on purpose, so that like
Yeah.
I have an excuse to wear them.
Those are pre-owned.
Yeah,
They looked brand new.
Yeah, they've been worn. Which
Wow.
yeah,
They have any
kept
other
them in good
colors?
they
shape.
definitely stayed inside.
Yeah.
Ooh,
They have a brown pair, a glow in the dark soul pair, a gray pair, a black pair.
They don't have a tan one, like a sand or desert or whatever it's called.
Chocolate.
Oh,
Yeah, chocolate. It's like dark brown on top and then gum bottom. So these are the Bel Air 5s. No, not the alternate pair that they came back out with that I was so excited for. And the Jordan Brand totally flopped the release. They look terrible. The new release is so ugly and so poorly done that they have zero value, and I hope nobody ever buys
so did
them.
that actually help these ones? Because they were so bad, and then people were like, "Oh, guess I got to get these ones."
It could have, honestly. It probably hurt these at first because people were like, oh, we're getting Bel Airs. And then once people saw them, they were probably disappointed about it. These are honestly
What was so different?
So like the material, this is kind of like a nubuck suede. Like this is gnarly material, and the colors are a lot less. They're vibrant, but they're less vibrant than they are on the alternate pair that released. The material on the alternate pair is just like shiny, crappy leather. They're so ugly. I have a pair, but they're so ugly. And so these came out on my birthday in like 2013 or 2014, and I wanted them so bad. Again, when the shoe game was totally different, you would enter raffles in store that were totally rigged and backdoored. And I went to the store. This takes multiple trips. You go to the store to enter the raffle. Then you have to go back in on release day to pick up the shoes if you're lucky enough to win in a certain time frame. And I did not hit on the raffle, and I was lucky enough to get these after Christmas time the same year.
Resale wise back then, did they sell for a lot more because less people were willing to do all that?
So this pair in general actually had really good resale value, and I was honestly upset by it because I just wanted these to rock.
Yeah.
Like I thought this was sick. Fresh Prince of Bel-Air, like everybody loves Will Smith, and it was just like enough wildness on the colorway, but not too much. Like opposite.
Still enough gray to like it can go with the
like they're kind of neutral but kind of wild. Like different. We got the green and the pink. Same on the heels, and yeah, just I was into wild stuff back then. I really wanted these to wear.
You a big Fresh Prince fan?
Kinda, yeah.
What's your favorite Will Smith movie? Both of you.
Oh, Will Smith movie.
After Earth.
I haven't seen that.
It's awful. I'm just kidding.
Is it worse than that one Will Ferrell
iRobot.
movie?
iRobot's good.
Yeah, iRobot is good. Is it bad if I say? I mean, like, I like TV Will Smith better than movie Will Smith.
I don't disagree with you. I
like
don't disagree.
Fresh Prince was so like raw and funny.
Yeah.
Compared to movies, and I don't watch
It's a lot more digestible.
Yeah, like the Carlton, like come on.
Yeah.
Dude. That was just like iconic back then.
I got
like,
a weird answer for this one. I'm gonna go with Hancock.
Hancock.
I was
That's
like
a
8,
solid
so
film though.
it's really sad at the end, but
Yeah.
Everybody
good.
likes Will Smith movies, but
yeah.
the Fresh
I Am
Prince
Legend
was
too.
Sick. I Am Legend.
Can't not say that one.
I Am Legend was probably my favorite Will Smith movie.
It's probably the best one,
Yeah.
honestly.
Yeah.
Hancock's just my
Had a
favorite.
really good story.
Yeah.
But these were one of my favorite personals like of all time. And this is one of the first retros that I got. My very first retro I think was the Grape 5s and then Shadow 1s back in 2013. The white Grape 5s, and they were hard. And this was a pair that I just fell in love with, and I've had these since the release date.
So was there like something that happened or like a moment when you were like, oh, I can make a lot of money reselling or investing in shoes? Like, why did you start?
Yeah, definitely the first sneaker convention I went to. Shout out to Alex Glibbert, my good friend.
Shout out Alex.
Yeah,
I don't know.
seriously, really, really cool dude. He got me into sneakers in general. So like I said, before I even knew what retros really were, I liked Jordans, but I just never understood like the retros and stuff. It all comes into knowledge first. Like you got to learn about what you like. And once I started studying the retros and stuff, Alex took me to a sneaker convention. It was actually the first Sneaker Freak show ever in Columbus, and that was where I bought the Grape 5s and the Shadow 1s, and I see all these vendors selling these shoes and like what they're selling for and then what the retail price is on them, and I'm like, wow, this is like the best side hustle
Would
ever.
you say like to be successful in selling or like quick flipping hype shoes that you have to be a sneakerhead pretty much? I mean, yeah, you can like blindly follow the call outs in the group and stuff, but to really like make good money, would you say you have to be a sneakerhead?
Yeah, it's like a double-edged sword, right? So like the interest is definitely going to benefit you because you're going to be a lot more interested and inclined to learn about the releases and whatnot. But then at the same time, you're really going to want to wear pairs, and that makes it hard to make money whenever you want to wear pairs. I've gotten better at it over time. My personal rotation is a lot smaller than it was when I was younger.
How many do you have?
Personal rotation? You shouldn't ask me that. If we're talking like retros and Yeezys, like higher priced pairs.
I'm talking about total number of shoes. Do you have enough to rock
That
every
you
day-
wear.
every day of the year?
Or have worn?
Oh, like total? Yeah, dude. I remember when we went to Newark together, I wore a different pair of shoes.
I know
for a
you
whole
always
month.
had a different pair of Yeezys on.
Yeah, I wore a different pair for like a whole month.
That's a flex.
And people would call me out for it too. It's kind of funny. I probably don't have enough pairs in inventory right now to wear for an entire year.
I didn't have Nike Roche runs to go through a whole year back then.
Dude, I remember you had every
Roches were
color of
fire.
Roches. Why'd they stop making those?
Roches
dude?
were nuts.
They were like $60.
Yeah.
And they were awesome.
You could ID a pair of those for like less than $100.
Yeah.
I'm gonna break a couple pairs out.
Dude, you might have to.
Those might have some value now.
Oh yeah,
Honestly, yeah.
They
People are
discontinued.
like,
it's true.
because we're in like a Y2K vibe fashion wise right now. Once that catches up to like
We're gonna throw it back.
2012,
Roches are gonna
Roches
be
are
worth, like,
coming
200.
back, dude. I'm investing in Roches now.
$200 a pop all day long.
So,
Light to ship too.
say I want to learn about sneakers to be a sneakerhead and make a lot of money reselling.
Yeah.
Obviously, there's YouTubers like you that you can watch to learn, but what other ways do you learn about sneakers?
The best way is to like get straight into it. I've got a lot of my friends that like see what I'm doing and they want to learn and they want to be able to make money, because once you do have the knowledge about sneakers, it really is easy. It's not.
It's easy.
It's easy. It's easy
Nice.
being easy.
10 points for Adam.
No, it's tough. It's tough to hit releases sometimes, but like the concept is easy, I guess I should say. The best way to get started though would be download as many apps as possible. Like you need the resale market apps so that you can understand what's releasing when and what has a value and what doesn't. You can't just throw your money at every single sneaker release and expect to make money. There's obviously some that are more sought after than others. So I would say follow the sneaker news pages, get as many apps as possible, start with the resale apps to learn the market, and then get some of the apps that are going to help you cop pairs for retail, because you want to maximize your profits and give yourself better margins by getting pairs for retail.
What sizes are best and why?
It's different now. It's so different. Whenever I first started doing shoes, local price didn't matter. 8 to 13 was the same price. This retro would be like $250 all day long. Doesn't matter what size. Since StockX and GOAT have came out and we're more transparent on stock levels, that's kind of reflecting in the resale market. So, like 2 years ago, I was all about base sizes and Yeezys. The stock levels were lower. They still are lower, so I'm still kind of all in on that. But anticipated releases, I really don't care. I'll cop any size that I can get because there's always going to be value. And it's really hard to tell what the demand is going to be for certain sizes until after the release. But I like to stick between 8 and 13.
Yeah, I hate when I'm trying to buy a pair and I'll type it in. I'll be like Yeezy 350 or whatever, and then it says StockX $260, and I click
Yeah.
on it and find my size, and it's like $900.
Yeah, it's like way
I
more.
hate that, dude.
Yeah, it definitely, like, the stock levels definitely play a factor into it. And a lot of the times you're not going to see the stock levels until after the release. People hold that information out as long as possible. If you're in some certain Discords or sneaker news pages, you might be able to find out how many pairs of each size are releasing beforehand. But
You keep mentioning a lot like how StockX and GOAT like really changed the game.
Yeah.
Did you like it before then when you had to actually go into the stores, or do you like it now where you can like join a bunch of these draws online? And can you get more this way, or could you get more that way?
it's a good question. If you had the right connects, it was way easier back then. And the footwork was easy. If you were willing to put in the footwork back then, you were going to do well selling sneakers. If you weren't willing to put in the footwork and you needed to do it from home, or like you have a full-time job and you need to do stuff online, then now it's going to work a little bit better. I'm still copping shoes. It's a little bit harder for me now, just with like my work schedule, because I can't sit in front of the computer on Saturday mornings. But I liked the game back then more. I enjoyed it more so because like on a Friday night, see, back then I didn't work Saturdays either. So like a Friday night, I would go to a store for an anticipated release. I'd gather up my friends, or I'd get like my girlfriend at the time, and we'd sit in line and wait for shoes. And I knew if I was first in line, I'm getting the shoes, right? Like you choose your own fate there, right? And so I'd be posted up at the stores, and I'd give myself as many opportunities as possible to cop shoes. I would enter raffles at certain stores, in-person raffles. So I'd hop around like Columbus area, get in as many raffles as possible, and then I'd find that store that was doing first come, first serve, and I'd post up there and get those pairs. Whereas now it's like, all right, what are the botters going to do? Are the botters going to flop this time? Are they going to hit it hard? Am I going to be able to cop manually? Am I going to get lucky on this raffle? It's really like, it's kind of out of your hands now, and it's scary. But and back then, like whenever I'd go sit in line, I'd see some of the same sneakerheads over and over, and the culture aspect played into it a lot more back then. Like I made friends doing that. Like I saw people at SneakerCon this year that I haven't seen in probably like 4 or 5 years that I was able to catch up with, and I used to see them like every Saturday at the same stores. So it's a lot different now.
So which do you like better?
I think I wish it would revert back to like in-store releases. It was just really hard to get managers to not backdoor shoes, and it was one of those things where it was like, if you can't beat them, join them, right? So I was trying to develop as many relationships as possible with these store managers, and the turnover with the managers was bad, so you could only keep a relationship for so long. But I liked it back then better. The culture was cooler. I felt like I was more in control of how many pairs I could get, and I was always willing to put in the work to get pairs for retail. So
if I had $2,000 cash right now, wanted to get in the sneaker game, what would you tell me to do? Like invest, or what would you say?
2K. That's tough. So if I had 2K and if I was looking at somebody that was just trying to invest money to get a return, I would say take that 2K, buy the cheapest 350s or the cheapest Jordan 1, which right now I'm looking at like Marinas and Brotherhoods. A lot of people are going to talk smack about them.
I hate the Brotherhoods, dude.
Yeah, everybody hated them. But those Brotherhoods are going to do better than the Marinas, I think. We've never seen a yellow and purple colorway. I think they're kind of fire.
You're wrong, though.
I wish they would have been a little bit darker.
Adam, be the tiebreaker.
I don't even know what they look like.
They're terrible. Hold on, let me.
I should have brought a pair. And I'm sniping them. If you had 2K, you could probably buy 10 pairs of the.
Is that what you would do? Would you rather do like 10 pairs of one shoe than one pair of 10 shoes?
It's kind of indifferent, I guess. I'm confident enough in Jordan 1s that I wouldn't be afraid.
Dude, gross.
Yeah, I would say if you bought 10 pairs
like
of
those.
Brotherhoods,
Like
dude.
Lakers colors.
It's good color blocking though. It's not like too much of one color.
They're
It's there.
They're probably just bad because the Lakers are bad, right? Isn't that like a Lakers colorway?
So
Pink?
it was supposed to be.
I mean, it's kind of like Barney purple, isn't it?
It's terrible.
My first impression was Lakers, but it's supposed to be Michael's frat in college.
Michael Jordan was in a frat?
Yeah.
What the heck?
I did not know that. That's hilarious.
Yeah, it shows like the colors of the frat.
What's up, dudes? I'm Michael Jordan, bro.
Yeah,
Is he just
like
a frat boy?
I don't really know. I don't know the whole story behind it. I just know that
he's just wearing Patagonia.
I heard he wore Yeezys with shorts all the time.
Yeah, I would have.
Dude,
I'm never gonna live that down. I should have never spoke on that. I can't pull them off.
And then he tried to get out of it by showing you your shirt.
So Adam's wearing ankle socks. I can't wear ankle socks. I have the skinniest ankles ever. That's why I'm wearing jeans right now.
He doesn't do enough calf raises. So.
I don't do calf raises. I do calf raises, but my legs don't grow. I swear.
No, he said I do. He said you can only pull them off if you have fat ankles.
Yeah, you called Adam fat, dude.
Okay, you have fat ankles then. I'm sorry.
Dude!
I apologize. You don't really have
fat ankles. You can't say that.
I'm going to squeeze my fat ankles into your ugly black boots over here.
Dude, don't you call those ugly.
That's how the zippers
I don't get how you can like those. And
all right, most controversial shoe opinion, go.
Most controversial shoe opinion.
I'll say mine.
Okay, so... You go first because I want to see if I have a better one than what came.
Oh, mine's probably terrible because I'm not like a sneaker expert. But the Yeezy Red October 2s, best shoe of all time.
Okay.
All right, next.
I carded I had a boy who tipped those off to me when they dropped, and I carded them and couldn't check them out. It was like,
bro, you'd have like $20,000 right now.
Yeah, he got a pair. He successfully checked out a pair, and he flipped them back then for a few thousand.
Oh. Yeah, that hurts.
A few thousand.
I wonder what the highest they've sold for is.
I would say if you hop on StockX, I would say they probably don't have them in stock on every size, and the prices are going to be really inconsistent, but I might be wrong.
Dude, they're so sick.
Are you in on any of the New Balance shoes that are coming out? They're kind of sweet.
Yeah, so I quick flipped some of the 550s just because I don't know the market really, really well on them.
Have you seen the pizzas?
I've seen pictures of them, but I know nothing
about
them.
My size of Red Octobers is $26,000.
Yeah, see, and they're getting harder and harder to find dead stock. So, and I think the size he had like maybe a 9.5 or
7.5, $1.9 million.
Yeah, that's silly.
What?
They're so cool though.
Look at last sale was $20K for one pair. So
ridiculous, bro.
Yeah, that's almost a new car.
Yeah.
My unpopular shoe opinion.
Gas.
Jordan 1 lows should have never been made. 1 lows
are dunks?
Yeah, I don't like dunks either. I really don't. I would rather wear a pair of dunks than 1 lows, but Jordan 1 lows should have never been a thing. I'll never rock a pair. I've only bought a handful of them to resell. I don't see why there's a demand for them. I think they're so dumb. I love One Highs. It's my favorite retro ever. And for that reason, they should have never made a One Low.
Yeah.
And for that reason, I'm out.
All right, Mark
For
Cuban.
that reason, I'm out.
I like
do a
the
royalty deal.
Jordan 11 lows. Those are my second.
11
favorite
lows are cool.
Jordans.
Like,
Those are
they
my
did the
second
lows
favorite.
right there. Yeah.
Yeah.
They did the lows right there. The highs are sick too. 11s are dope. I haven't rocked a pair of those since the Concords.
Dude, those are the ones
First.
I got. I got them in high school. I worked at Taco Bell, and I saved up like 2 paychecks. Dude, it was
And you got
actually
some
not a bad
Concords?
job. Yeah, I saved
Yeah.
up 2 paychecks,
No,
got
it
some
was-
Concords.
It was a great job. I got lots of bags of tacos.
Yeah, I just
You
gave
worked
away
there.
free stuff. Sorry, my manager Nancy, if you're watching.
Nancy.
Hayden was like the cinnamon twist fairy.
I've made some creations back there in the kitchen, dude. But I saved up 2 paychecks to get Concords, and I got
Yeah.
them like back in the day. I don't know exactly, but it was like $220, $230. They were
Yeah, it was
cheap.
probably like close to like
I-
2011, 2012 around
Yeah.
that time. Well, they re-released though. Did they have the 45 on the back or the 23 on the back? Do you remember?
23.
Okay, yeah, so it was
So,
an older release.
I remember
which
I
was
got them pretty cheap, and then I wore them for a year,
Mhm.
and then I quit my job at Taco Bell and got a seasonal job. Once that was over, I was like, well, I need to make money, so I sold them, and I remember selling them for like double what I got them
Yeah.
for, and I was like, wait a minute.
Yeah,
And I knew nothing about shoes, so I was like,
that's what's crazy
so this
too.
can happen.
People always have something to say about how much I spend on shoes. Like if I told some people that I talk to on a daily basis that I paid, I think these were like 185 retail. If I even told them that, the fact
Yeah.
that these are worth like way more, dead stock, these are probably like a $500 pair of shoes now, if not more. Don't check me. But if I told them that, they'd be like, "Why are you
Make sure to
spending?"
check them on the
Yeah,
editing. Make sure to
yeah,
check
I don't
that's probably
remember what
all
they're
wrong.
called.
They were 180. They were 185 retail. So I got
I know
part of
nothing
it.
outside of Yeezys, so I'm just over here like trying to listen to what you guys are saying.
But if I told them that I paid, even if I paid like $200 for these, they'd be like, "Why are you paying $200 for a pair of shoes?" They don't understand. Like, I can pay $200 for these. I can wear them 15 to 20 times, keep
Exactly.
them clean, and I can make money or get my money back for them. Whereas like these guys can buy their Vans, wear them 10 times, and they're worth $0.
Yeah.
And like it's an investment for me.
Speaking
Yeah.
of keeping them clean, have you ever like stepped in a puddle in like a really nice pair
Oh,
of shoes
bro.
or like gum or
Are you a
something
weather
like-
dependent guy when it comes
Yeah.
to wearing shoes?
I totally I definitely pay attention.
So what happens if it's rainy? Do you have like some mileage shoes you just throw on?
I would wear these if it's nasty out.
Those are your mileage shoes,
yeah.
350s?
Yeah, these
Mine
are-
are $12 Amazon shoes.
This is like a $600
Yeah,
pair
I
of
got
Yeezys.
some too the
yeah,
other
those are my
day.
mileage shoes
Yeah.
now, dude.
If I'm going to the bars or like it's nasty outside, snowing, wet, whatever, I'm wearing some black 350s. They
That's
just
just,
hold
a,
up nice.
that's just a flex in itself.
Well,
Yeah.
the thing is though is
No
like
shorts though.
it, I never wear them with shorts. You'll never see me wearing them with shorts. So summertime, I'm not wearing a lot of 350s.
Oh,
But like if I told you I wore these like 100 times, I bet I could still make money on these.
yeah, true.
Yeah, which is
That's
nuts.
the thing about reselling in general, and Adam can definitely get on this. Like, at least when I was about to quit my job, the last like month while I was getting that income, I was investing it into stuff that I knew would still be worth money.
Yeah.
So it's like a weird bank account almost,
It
your
is.
inventory, and that goes with reselling too. Like Adam, you have thousands of dollars worth of random stuff down here that could be sitting in a bank account doing nothing.
Yeah.
So
It's just another way of like investing. I try to say
Yeah.
that in a lot of my videos. Like I view my inventory as an investment. That's why I'm not trying to quick flip everything, and that's exactly what Austin's doing with his shoes.
Yeah.
I went to his house several months ago and showed you guys. I don't even know if he has that many pairs of shoes now, but
Probably
whether
the
he
same,
does or
yeah.
not, he's got a lot of shoes, and that's the same as throwing. I don't know how much. Say he has $30,000 worth of shoes. It's probably more. That's like that's like throwing $30,000 in a IRA or in the stock
yeah,
market.
and the
like,
cool thing about shoes is that like rainy day fund, something bad happens tomorrow, you need money. StockX, like
Yeah, I can get it right now.
yeah, your sale is instant because
Yeah.
people have bids on them. So
Yep.
it's like your inventory can be a rainy day fund in
Yeah.
a way, as
I can-
well as a business.
I could liquidate my whole collection like tomorrow and sell like over half of
Give
it,
us a ballpark.
which is crazy.
You don't have to say the amount.
Um,
Give us a ballpark.
I haven't done inventory since my last
I
sneaker
won't put your
convention.
exact address in the description. Don't worry.
Just like the
My inventory is not even
Yeah.
at my house.
well, where is it?
Everywhere.
He
I have it
buries
spread
it.
out. I have it
He-
spread out
Is that
in-
on purpose in
in
case you
different
get robbed?
locations. Yeah, I really don't want to get robbed.
He actually
yeah.
keeps
yeah,
some
I feel
here.
seriously, like I have, and like I
respect
would
that.
never keep it in like a storage unit either. I even like I have a storage business and I would never keep shoes in a storage unit. Probably have, man, it's been a long time since I've done inventory. I still probably have about like $70,000 in shoes.
Bro, what?
Yeah, it was probably well over 100,000 like a year ago, but I've sold a lot. Like if you look at my YouTube videos, I sold 70 pairs of shoes to a sneaker store in Columbus. It's Dead Stock, shout out Dead Stock. Sold them 70 pairs of Yeezys for like 23.5.
$23,500.
Yeah, 23,000
US dollars.
You
Cash
had
on
a
the
stack
spot.
of cash
Yeah.
in it.
Yeah, it was really sweet.
Whoa.
Mo was like a really cool guy to work with. It was super easy. Communication was great.
Mo money.
Yeah, for real. I pulled straight up to the store.
So
we
these
went through
guys just have
everything,
just like
Cash.
stacks of money just in the back if anyone
Just a
walks
vault.
in.
that
or-
was like a deal
You
where
call them?
Yeah, I called him. I met him at a sneaker convention. He spent a lot of money with me. He probably spent like $6K with me at a convention. Yeah, that was the first time I met him. And so I sent him a list. We worked out numbers over the phone and on FaceTime. And he was like, "Yo, you want cash, wire?" I was like, "Obviously, I don't want wire because we already paid our."
Uncle
I
Sam's
shouldn't
gonna
say
get
that.
you.
I shouldn't say that, but
I
we
said
already
you.
paid our taxes. On the shoes. Like you get sales tax whenever you pay for them. They're my shoes. I don't have to do anything at the sneaker convention. So why should I if I'm selling to a sneaker store? So obviously I wanted cash. So he made that happen. Pulled up to the store one day, unloaded 70 pairs, and he gave me cash on the spot.
Do you ever get worried doing that?
Yeah, I should probably
Have a security guy?
I should probably be like a little more prepared whenever I go to some of these places. A lot of these sneaker conventions can lead you around sketchier areas.
I've heard about people getting robbed at those. Does that happen a lot?
I've had Sneaker Freaks.
You have
Like
to
the
pay to
second
get
or
in there,
third.
though. I mean, you could walk
Yeah,
back,
but
but that's a long
Yeah.
drive back to where that's held.
Yeah, I mean getting robbed in bulk probably never gonna happen. But
Although I
a
guess,
pair of shoes here and there, it definitely happens.
I guess if you're gonna steal shoes, you're gonna pay the $15.
Oh yeah, for sure. One of my good a good friend, I guess, but I met him through sneakers. I'd see him at all the releases. He had a table set up at a Sneaker Freaks convention, and somebody took, I think it was a Yeezy 350 Pirate Black, like a V1, and they just took you only display one shoe, right? Unless you have a display case or something. Somebody took just the one shoe.
That's so lame.
And there was a fist fight over it. The security locked down the entire venue. They were checking boxes whenever you left.
Wow.
Of course, they never found it because how many pairs of that same shoes were floating around? So, and another one of my buddies, I just interviewed him at his sneaker store.
Is that the Soul Stop, dude?
Yeah,
I
shout out
watched that
Soul
video.
Stop. That store is incredible. The store is goated. Shouts to Jake and Bailey on that success. He had a story. I've been dealing with him since he was 14, before he even had his license. And there was one point in time where he went to sell a pair of shoes, and dude was still in his car. Jake handed him the pair of shoes to check, and they started driving away. And Jake is ruthless, man. Super sketchy, but he held on to the car. He held on to the car window, and it would have taken nothing for somebody that he didn't know to people get shot all the time over shoes. Every Holiday 11 release, if you watch the news, somebody dies over it. And
Crazy.
Jake held on to the window. They were dragging him. They were literally dragging him down the road, and then finally they got scared and just chucked the shoes out the window.
Wow.
Yeah,
Do you have any horror stories that you've been through? What's the craziest thing that's happened to you?
Crazy scary?
Yeah.
Man, I can't tell a bunch of details, but I was at a sneaker release.
What is there, an investigation going on? Why can't you?
I can't tell a bunch of details.
All right.
I was at a sneaker release with some friends. It was back before the game changed. So in-store releases were still a thing. There was a first come first serve at a mall, and I got a bunch of people to go with me. It was right after tax time, so everybody comes out after tax time, right? Not even normal sneakerheads that are at these releases. We lined up on one side of the store. Other people that we didn't know started lining up on the other side of the store. And I knew the manager, so I texted him and I was like, "Yo, we were here. We lined up first, just so you know." They were kind of chirping the whole time from the other side, And whenever it got down to it, I got every pair of shoes from that release, so they didn't get any. And it didn't look like that at first, but they knew that we were all together. So I hit a lick of 9 pairs from this one store, and the resale was really good on this pair of shoes. And they knew what I was driving, and they were calling out what I was driving and stuff.
Oh.
And it was to the point where the store manager asked me if I wanted mall security to escort me to my truck, and I wasn't about it. I was like, what are they
I would have
gonna
been
do?
like, yeah, dude,
But-
and you can walk around like you're important.
That would be sweet.
In hindsight, I
Yeah.
probably should have had security walk me out.
Could have looked like a
But-
celeb, dude.
Yeah, so and that was pretty sketchy, especially since they were calling out like what I drove and stuff, and they weren't friendly at all. Like whenever those guys first pulled up, like I'm always trying. I like the culture, so like if I meet new sneakerheads, I'm looking at what they're wearing and stuff. And the reason why I say they weren't sneakerheads and they were only there for the money, which I mean I just got 9 pairs, so that was I was in it for the money too. But I was wearing a pair of Bred ones from like not the 2016 release, the release before that. And this chick was like, "You're not even wearing Jordans. Like, why are you even here?" And I was like, "You don't even know what's on my feet right now. This is like a $500 pair of retros. Like, you have no idea." And so they were hostile like from the get go. I tried to dap a dude up, and he just like swerved me and stuff. They were like that from the get go. It was super sketchy release.
Wow.
But
Yeah, that's rough. Cool. So we've been rolling for a while. Adam, you have
we
any
have
burning
talk
questions
about
to ask
sneakers
him?
forever, man.
What are your opinion on the Skechers shape ups?
The Skechers, they're making a
Good, very
comeback.
slept on.
They're making a comeback. Honestly, Heelys, dope.
Heelys are
We
I have
sourced those.
some. They're dead stock, so
They're
I'm waiting
sick.
for them to go up.
dead stock Heelys. Is that
They're
even?
sick.
Yeah.
Heelys are gnarly. Skechers shape ups. You probably will never catch them on my feet. I want to be that dude that's like 80 years old and I still have like the same style that I do now.
Yeah.
You're not gonna roll over to those New Balance like
No.
white lawnmowers.
I don't
Oh,
wanna-
I am, dude.
I don't want to transition to that. They're kind of coming back
100%.
though. Like I saw like Steve will do it wearing some New Balances or like some Monarchs like
Yeah,
that.
yeah, I saw that.
Like those guys are into that stuff.
One thing I did want to mention before we go, did I see the Chicago ones are restocking this year?
I saw a rumor. I don't know if they said for sure this year or not. If they do, watch the value of the 2013 pair. And yeah,
Those will
it's been
be
a long time.
wild resale, right?
Oh yeah, it's gonna be nuts. So
Alright.
like, first few days after release, they're probably not gonna be over, and it depends on how many pairs they drop, but they're gonna be just like normal. You know, it'll be like a $300 to $400 sneaker, but buy them and hold them, man. I'm telling you, all the OG colorways, the hold play is so smart.
Wow. Cool. So I think that's
Yeah, thanks
much
for
everything.
joining us
Yeah,
today.
thanks for having me.
We'll have Austin back for sure. This is one of either our first or second one, kind of depending on how the editing goes of this. But this is something we've been wanting to do for a while, and I think it's a good way for you guys to learn in different niches.
Setup and everything
Yeah.
will get a lot better. Obviously, you
Yeah.
can see.
It's
There's a
dope.
dog barking.
This is-
Yeah, he was
this
here
is-
at the beginning of the video. Now he's upstairs.
Yeah.
He's gonna find his way into all of
Causing
these
havoc.
while we have him here.
Yeah, but I think this will come at like a different angle than the Sunday sessions do, because the Sunday sessions are super useful and I love doing them, but they're more like this. They're too information packed, where a lot of people learn better when it's more conversational and people's brains are more used to listening to podcasts, whether it's like Joe Rogan or whatever you listen
Right.
to. So I think this is a cool thing to listen to, whether you're driving or just hanging out or packaging your sales or whatever. So we're excited to do more of these.
This
Yep.
is sweet. I enjoyed it.
Definitely.
Thanks for having me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And on that note, we are out of here.